Buying investment properties and rentals. This is super fun, and I'm excited to talk about this. So one of the biggest crazes in America is investing in real estate, period, right? I know you know that. But let's talk about what it takes to get home loans on rental properties. Now, two ways to do it. Let's say you're willing to buy the property, live in it for at least a year, and then after a year, you're going to move out and rent it. You can get into a multifamily or single family, right? And move in, get into minimal down payment, right? Let's say minimum 3 or 5% down, and then a year later, move out, okay? And then rent out the full place. You can do those types of investment property purchasing for little to low money down. Now, the other way people do it is they say, well, I already have a home, or I want to buy this property over here, but I would not live in it, and I'm not going to. What's it take to get a loan on something like that? If it's a single family home, 20% down. If it's a multifamily, duplex, triplex, fourplex, sixplex, right? Those properties are going to require at least 25% down, okay? So that's where it goes up a little bit. So when people say, well, can I buy a multifamily and move into one of the units and then rent out the rest? Absolutely. FHA allows it. VA allows it. Conventional allows it, where you can get in for little to low money down, even up to on a duplex, everybody, where you can get down payment assistance. Get in to little to even no money down if the program allows that. Get into one unit, rent out the other one, and now you literally bought a duplex for no money down. It's crazy cool. Definitely on VA. You can buy up to a fourplex on a VA loan, move into one unit, rent out the other 3, and put nothing out of pocket on a VA loan. It's incredibly cool. Okay. Now, there's a lot of people out there that maybe have these down payment funds available, but their credit might not be as good, or their debt to income's a little rough, or they are in and out of jobs, or they are self-employed and don't show a lot of money on paper, or maybe you own a lot of properties and your debt to income on paper is not going to look good. So there's these programs out there now where you can buy rental properties called the DSCR loan, okay? And if you qualify for this, they don't even look at your debt to income ratio. We do these all the time. They're super cool. These DSCR loans require some reserves, and they at least start at 20% down. Depending on the property that you're going to buy, fair market rent ratio to what your mortgage is going to be, they want to see that it's going to get covered. So when we order the appraisal on one of these loans, we don't need pay stubs, we don't need tax returns, we don't need W-2s, we don't even care if you even have a job on a DSCR loan. It's super cool. But the rent ratio to the mortgage has to match. And if it doesn't, these DSCR loans will say, okay, we'll get the appraisal back, numbers don't look good, we want to see you put 25 or 30% down, but we'll still close it. Isn't that cool? So if you got cash and you want to rack up some rentals, DSCR might be a great tool for you. Reach out more for that. But when it comes to these rental property purchases, okay, a lot of them are handled exactly like a normal mortgage purchase. So don't think of it as like it's like a whole different set of guidelines. It's pretty much the same when it comes to buying a rental property. Now, where I see a lot of disconnect happen, and this is what I want to be a big advocate for, because I see it all the time. A lot of people will reach out to a lender, and the lender that they reached out to doesn't do investment property purchases in-house, so they're going to flip you over to their commercial department, and they're going to make you do like a 5-year balloon, or charge you these commercial rates, or like I said, the rate's not even fixed. Those aren't necessarily great. And I wouldn't look at those, and I'd get a second opinion, because a lot of lenders will offer your normal mortgages, but when it comes to rental properties, they shy away from them, and they don't have as many options, because not all lenders are created equal, which I say all the time. So if you're going to buy a rental property, you should definitely get a second opinion, because some lenders might say, well, here's your rate, or here's the options, and you might have better ones. but you just don't know any better yet because you've never done it. That's why you want the second opinion, and I'd be glad to be that, or any other lender, get a recommendation from your realtor, but of course I'd love to help you. So look into, okay, if I'm going to buy a rental, do I have to do it on a ARM or a balloon loan? No, you don't. You can look at a DSCR. You can look at a regular conventional 30-year fixed, as long as you qualify on paper. But the key with buying rental properties is there's no way around this down payment, okay? Unless you buy it as your primary residence, move in, and live in it for at least a year. That would be your only so-called, I guess, house hack per se. But if you're like, hey, I want to buy rentals and I don't have any really cash to spend, sorry, it's probably not going to work for you. You need the down payment for sure, because all these programs now in America, when it comes to buying a rental property only, aka investment property, they all require cash down. So I hope this helps. If you have any more questions, I'll put my information below. Let's chat soon. Boom.